Lightning bugs and fireflies, they're out and about, but how can you get more in your backyard? I'm 5 News Chief Meteorologist Matt Standard. There are some really easy steps that you can take in order to get more of these guys flying around close to sunset and dusk in your backyard. But what are we even calling them? Are they lightning bugs or fireflies? Well, first off, they're the same creature. There are about 24,000 species of them, but we're talking about the same thing. But we kind of say lightning bugs in the south and parts of the central U.S., especially around the Ohio River Valley and into parts of the Great Lakes. But you go farther west and to the north, they say fireflies. Well, it's not a complete hard and fast rule. But generally, the farther south and east you go, closer to the Gulf, you say lightning bugs. It's kind of like soda and pop. Just depends on where you're from. But we also have to talk about when they're emerging. Some folks have seen them and some folks haven't yet. This is talking about peak season for lightning bugs and fireflies. They love warm and humid weather. That's when they start to emerge and they start flying around. But the species only last for so long before they die off and they make sure they lay their eggs ready for that next round. So they're not here all summer long. They're really at the beginning of the typical summer weather. So what does that mean? On the Gulf Coast and parts of the deep south, end of May into early June. Our peak is right now along the Gulf Coast. That peak shifts north as warmer and more humid air shifts north as well. End of June, early July, going to July 4th. That's the prime time to see lightning bugs, the peak season from Arkansas and Oklahoma into the Tennessee River Valley and the Ohio River Valley, getting just south of the Great Lakes generally and into the Mid-Atlantic. And then even farther north, you really get in the Great Lakes and the Northeast and New England area by end of July and into early August. So it takes us a little bit longer. Trust me, they're definitely coming. But right now, we're definitely seeing a lot right along the Red River, into parts of the Ouachitas, and even parts of the Boston Mountains across Arkansas. But the peak is just about to take place kind of right here, anywhere from northern Arkansas right into Tennessee and North Carolina. Out west, we don't have too many. You're thinking, why is it so blank? We're drier out towards the west, especially west of the Continental Divide with less rain. We don't get as many. Now, there are some in some valleys, depending on how much rainfall we get. So the central valleys of California do have some lightning bugs, and we also have some in parts of Arizona and New Mexico, but we don't have a lot farther towards the north and west. We can get warm and humid, but the season's a little bit shorter. It's just different climate as you go farther into the Rockies. All right, so as promised, how can we get more fireflies and lightning bugs in your backyard? A couple different steps. Number one of the best ways is just to simply turn off your outdoor lights. The lights that you have backside, outside, maybe got the pet going around, they're doing their bathroom break before bedtime. Maybe keep that as limited as possible because it messes with the fireflies. They don't want to see other lights. They want to see their own lights. They're doing their mating patterns and things like that with their lights. So other outdoor lights can really mess with them. So this is an easy step. Turn them off a little bit longer in your backyard. Also, number two, they've got to have some safe habitat. If you can cut your grass a little bit higher, they can kind of nestle in there throughout the day. The shorter the grass is, not only is there less protection, but it actually also dries out your lawn. When you have higher grass, there's more humidity in your lawn. So this lower cut grass is harder to get a bunch of lightning bugs. For example, if you go to a golf course, you're going to see more lightning bugs in some of the exterior portions and where the trees are, but right along the fairway, you may not see as many. Now, sometimes they'll float and get into some of that shorter grass, but you've got to get closer to some higher grass and some trees in order to see them. So if you live up next to a forest, it's a great location to really see them kind of foster and prosper. All right, number three, create a water feature. They love having water nearby. It's, of course, going along with that humidity impact, but they love being by a water source, nice little creek, nice little stream, easy way in order to find lightning bugs. The only problem is if you get too much standing water, you can also get more mosquitoes. They're not fun. And then number four, avoid pesticides. Depending on what you lose on your lawn, some of these really harmful pesticides can be tough for the lightning bugs to thrive in your backyard. So experts say to try to find something that's a little bit more natural would really help you try to get more lightning bugs and fireflies in your backyard. A couple of steps that you can take, but it really depends on where you live too. If you live out in the country, you're going to have a much better time of getting some lightning bugs. You live deep in the city, you know, you can do all these things, but if your neighbors aren't, may not help very much. But I tell you what, there's nothing better than to driving some country roads there just after sunset and seeing the lightning bugs, fireflies fly right in front of the road and along the sides, just kind of making the evening hours a little bit brighter.